Hi, Dr. Anita here, and welcome back. Today, we're going to think about mental health awareness. And you might be wondering why this is important right now. Well, there's several reasons why you or your family members might be feeling strain in the area of your mental health. And it starts with number one, the information overload that's happening on so many levels in the midst of this current crisis. It comes from the news, it comes from expert opinion, and then on top of that, you've got the messages and videos that are coming through online. And that is leading to extra processing in what's happening inside of your head. And in that, it can be overloaded with how much you're having to process, and that can lead to anxiety and all sorts of other emotions because it's too much to process. Number two is the adjustment in the current crisis of what we do in the midst of restrictions or lockdown. And that will be around how you're adapting your home, your circumstances, your family, and all of that juggling is actually potentially leading to a strain of how you're managing your mental health. And then thirdly is the area of the personal issues that you may have had before you ever went into this crisis, the issues from the past, or the issues with relationships or families, or the list goes on. But these are the things that have possibly been under the surface before you ever went into this particular situation. And with it being locked down and more quiet and less distractions and less busyness going on, it's likely going to lead to the stuff on the inside coming up to the forefront and becoming really prominent and in your face. And then fourthly is the area of the future, or should I say the unknown future, which leads to more questions than answers. And as a result, it's hard to plan and prepare because we just don't know. And that in itself is a great recipe for potentially feeling the strain of how to manage your mental health. So those are some of the reasons why all of us may well be challenged in managing our mental health at this time. But why does it even matter, should I say, around becoming aware of our mental health? Well, if you do, there are several advantages of taking care of this thing, your mind. Number one is the area of increasing your ability to focus and concentrate and even problem solve when you do take the time to take care of your mind. Secondly is the area of social connection, and this increases when you actually take care of your mind because you learn to actually connect much more better because you've got an awareness of yourself and an awareness of others as well. Thirdly is the area of our physical health. When we increase our mental health care, we actually reduce the amount of diseases that we get or the risk of getting them, and also increase our immunity. So there's lots of advantages to taking the time to bother with our mental health. So what do we do in the knowledge of all of this? Well, there's 5 R's to consider, and this is not everything about how to take care of your mental health, but it's a start for you and your family members to start thinking about. And number one of the R is reflection, where you and your family members take time to be still, to just pause, press pause on everything. And that might look through journaling or actually just literally sitting in stillness and seeing what comes up in your thoughts and your emotions and reflecting on that. And it's important to take the time to notice what's happening on the inside. Secondly is the area of reconnection. So this is where we're talking about our relationships, and that can be through trusted friends or family members that you can actually talk through what's happening on the inside, plus the area of prayer, which is reconnecting with God. Thirdly is the area of refueling, which is about how we're taking care of our bodies. And clearly what we eat does actually have an impact on how our brain actually processes our thoughts. So what we eat, what we drink, making sure we get enough fluid of the right kind, and then also movement of how our bodies are actually exercising, getting up and getting circulation going. And then finally, the area of obviously our sleep. Without sleep, we don't function properly. And then fourthly of the R's is the area of managing, restoring play. And this is such a key part, and it's really tricky to do this, but this is where we think about the activities in our life that brings that filling up and building up of what's on the inside. And it could be as simple as watching a comedy or just taking time to do something creative, but you thinking about what is that restoring activity for you on the inside, and being careful not to flip into numbing where you're just constantly in that place of that activity and it's not actually building up but just numbing down what you're feeling. And then fifthly is the area that's really tricky right now, which is routine. And routine is very hard to do, but trying to figure out some sort of routine is really great for your mental health. So those are 5 R's to consider. And like I said, that's not simply everything about what you do to take care of your mental health, but it's a start. Other things to think about is looking back at the other videos that I've done, but also I hope to look at this a bit more in the future. But in the meantime, stay well and take care of your mental health.